Hey, what's going on, guys? Mason here, bringing you guys back another video. Today is the first episode of the HollyWood Sportscast podcast. A brand new, podcast style thing I'm going to be doing. Basically, I'm going to be sitting here, and I'm going to be talking sports with you guys, because I do love sports. I love video games. I love sports. I love a lot of different things. I love music. But sports is at the top of the list. Sports is what I want to do with my life. Sports is everything to me. And I don't always have somebody to talk about these certain situations with. So I figured I would put out my point of view on certain things. I'd put it out to you guys. So that is what I'm doing right now. I am putting this video and many more podcast episodes to come of me talking about sports and sharing my opinion. So, today is March 23rd, 2017, and I am ready to get started in today's podcast, the HollyWood Sportscast podcast. If you do enjoy this episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And subscribe for more videos, whether it's a PokeCraft episode, or whether it's a vlog, or whether it's the podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoy all of it, because I do have a variety of stuff on my channel. Anyways, guys, let's go get into this episode. So I got my handy-dandy list of things here. Not too many today, so it shouldn't be too long of an episode. But the things we are going to talk about, we are going to talk about the Lavar Ball situation. That's a huge thing going down in the NBA world, and I do have some words I do want to say about it. We're going to talk about NASCAR racing at Phoenix. Yes, NASCAR is a sport to me, and I will go in depth on NASCAR. I was there at the race, so we will talk about NASCAR at Phoenix. We also talk about best possible landing spots for Kaepernick and Jay Cutler. A smaller story, but we will talk about that. And we will also wrap the episode up with March Madness, which continues tonight. And the winner I picked is still alive, but we'll talk about that later in the episode. Alright, guys, starting off with the Lonzo Ball situation. So for those of you who do not know, alright, why did I say Lonzo Ball? Lavar Ball situation. For those of you who do not know, Lavar Ball is the father of Lonzo Ball, LiAngelo Ball, and LaMelo Ball. Two of them, I believe, are in college, and Lonzo is about to enter the NBA draft. LaMelo, I believe, is 15 years old. Now, LaVar Ball did say that he believes Lonzo and LiAngelo will be better players than Steph Curry, and he thinks they might be better players than Michael Jordan. Since then, he's got a lot of hate for the whole issue, and basically my opinion on that is I heard a weird noise. He kind of deserves the hate, and at the same time, he kind of does not deserve the hate in that aspect. Because here's how, the way I look at it is, yes, he's a father that believes in his kids. Now, Michael Jordan is my favorite NBA player of all time. I am a Bulls fan, so it makes sense. But for, someone to say, it's a bold statement, and then it goes on, Lonzo or LaVar goes on to tell, that he could beat Michael Jordan in a one-on-one. And I don't think, obviously I don't think he could. I think Michael Jordan is the greatest player to ever play. And I do not think that LaVar Ball could beat him in a one-on-one, because if LaVar Ball could, he would have been, a player in the NBA. But anyways, so then after that, there's all that crap going down. And then LaVar Ball did mention LeBron James, and this was something that was, big and important that people were talking about, because he mentioned that he believes his sons are better set up for success in the NBA than LeBron's, because they don't have to live up to a legacy. He said that LeBron's kids have to live up to LeBron's legacy, and there's always going to be pressure to be like LeBron. LeBron's response was to keep, I can't quote the exact quote, but he did tell LaVar Ball to keep his kids out of his mouth, keep my family out of your mouth. It's dad to dad, and it's personal now. That was, if I remember correctly, that was the full statement. And I definitely agree with LeBron. I don't think LaVar should have taken it kind of that far. I think, you don't know what's going to come with the James children later on. But, they could be great, and they couldn't be great. It just kind of depends. Also this is where I was very, upset. See, LaVar Ball, he said all these things to LeBron, but he's kind of being, I don't know if I can say hypocritical, but he basically, because he said that his kids could be better than Steph Curry and be better than Michael Jordan, how is he doing any differently than LeBron's kids coming up? LeBron's kids, yeah, they have to look up to LeBron if they make it to the NBA. But how is LeVar doing any different by saying that his kids will be better than Steph Curry, or saying that they are better than Steph Curry right now and they will be better than Michael Jordan? How is he helping their case whatsoever? How is that helping? Because he's just basically doing the same thing. It's something they have to look up to. Lonzo and LiAngelo will feel like they have to, help their father not look like, not look stupid by saying all those bold statements, and they feel like they have to do well. It's a lot of pressure. They have to live up to what their father said, because that whole thing blew up. It wouldn't have been such a big deal if that wouldn't have blown up. Nobody would have cared, and that pressure would not be on Lonzo and LiAngelo. But now it is, because the whole situation blew up. So it's an identical situation to LeBron James's kids, who could do way better than Lonzo and LiAngelo. It's a very identical situation because Lavar Ball has made so many of these comparisons. It's such an identical thing. Everything is extremely identical. And that is what I find ironic about the whole situation. So, that's just my take on the situation. So, we'll see where the rest of it goes. Maybe we'll do a follow-up story next episode. I don't know yet. It just kind of depends on what goes on. If LeVar fires back at LeBron after what LeBron said. So, on to the next topic. We're going to quickly talk about NASCAR Phoenix. Now, obviously, like I had said, I was at the race, but obviously Ryan Newman won the race if you watched that part. So, Ryan Newman winning the race was a lot of fun to watch. There's the whole feud of Kyle Busch and Joey Logano going on right now. And I just thought they were only around each other for like one lap. And I just thought the irony of everything was that Kyle Busch is, riding himself off to victory like he does on multiple occasions. And Joey Logano brings out the caution. It's so ironic that would happen, especially with what happened the week before. It's very ironic, but it does make sense. You can't... Logano did not do it on purpose. It was a blown tire. He didn't do it on purpose. Obviously, to Kyle, everything's great. That's a funny video. Everything's great. But, that was, a whole thing. We'll see. Maybe it'll pop up again in the coming weeks. But then also, Ryan Newman winning the race, I thought was just fantastic. Getting RCR the first win since like 2013 or something like that. And Ryan Newman's first win since like 2013. Indianapolis 2013. That's kind of ridiculous. But, so happy for him that he got that win. Ryan Newman does deserve a win. He's been so consistent for so long. It's finally time he got a win. Great move by his crew chief there to keep him out on the racetrack. Also, Kyle Larson, third straight second place finish. That's got to hurt up to this point, but you know what? He's leading the points right now, and he's got to win. So the pressure, I think, the pressure has been taken off because he's already won a race, but yet now there's being pressure built back up because he can't get back to victory lane because he keeps finishing second. Great driver and all, he just ends up in bad situations at bad times. So, that's definitely unfortunate for him. So, we'll see where that goes. And we'll discuss after Auto Club this weekend. We'll discuss, everything that happened in whether that's the second or the third episode. So, next topic, best landing spots for Colin Kaepernick and Jay Cutler. Now, this is coming from a Bears fan. I don't think Cutler should have a job anywhere. But if we're going to talk, business of where these two could go, if I had to pick, we'll start with Colin Kaepernick. If I had to pick, I think Colin Kaepernick would go to the Jets. I think he'd be a good fit there. Maybe not in New York itself because of, the whole national anthem thing. I don't think New Yorkers would appreciate that. But being on their team, I think he fits with their style. They've had kind of, that read option thing. They've kind of had that style for a long time. I think Colin Kaepernick would fit very well there. And, there was Jim Harbaugh, yeah. Jim Harbaugh, coach of Michigan for football. I think it's Jim. Pardon if it's John. I think it's Jim. But coaches at Michigan. And he even said, because he was the one that put, Colin in over Alex Smith, who I think is a very underrated quarterback. But he put Colin in over Alex Smith, led him to the Super Bowl where they lost. But either way, he said that Colin Kaepernick is still a great quarterback. There's just little bug fixes that they can get. And I haven't looked well enough at film for Kaepernick, but I think he's such a great fit down in New York. But they're saying Cutler would fit over there. And trust me, the Jets are trying to get a somewhat better quarterback. At least Kaepernick's better than Cutler. Now, Cutler, I don't really know if he'll even get a job. I do not think he'll fit with the 49ers. I don't really know if Cutler really fits anywhere. I mean, yes, he could go to the Texans, but it's just like they got rid of Brock Osweiler for the very reason the Bears got rid of Cutler. Turnovers. It's the same reason. So I don't see why the Texans would bring in Cutler if they just got rid of Osweiler, you know? Obviously, the Texans need a quarterback, and we'll see where they go with that. Because I don't think they're going to sign Kaepernick or Cutler. I don't think it's the best for them. So I would think that they're going to try and draft somebody later in the draft. They have a later draft pick, but I think they could definitely draft somebody. So that's the two landing spots, I think, for Kaepernick and Cutler. Cutler, I have no idea where he could go. Maybe back to Denver. That was a discussion because Romo's been all over the place. But, you know, we'll see what happens, and we'll talk about it at a later time. Last but not least, on the last topic, this probably hasn't lasted. This podcast probably has not lasted very long, but eventually it'll get more and more as I have more things to talk about. Last thing, speaking, March Madness. I wanted to share with you guys just about how I'm doing with my March Madness. Now, the entire bracket as a whole sucks. I'm at like 52%. So it's one of my worst years. But at the same time, I still have the winner picked. They're still out there. They play West Virginia tonight at about 7:46 on Thursday, March 23rd, 2017. They play West Virginia. That would be Gonzaga, the number 1 seed. Reason I picked Gonzaga is because I've noticed over the years they've been coming in at such a lower seed and they've been such an underdog, but they still make it up high there. I mean, obviously they haven't been in the Final Four yet, but they still get up there. And they were always a lower seed. This is the first year they're a higher seed. They were always a lower seed that would work their way up there. They were always that underdog, and I always noticed it. And I took pride in saying Gonzaga this year, and I'm glad I did because I probably otherwise would have said Villanova or something. The only team that I really think could do better is not Gonzaga, but Kansas. I think Kansas could do better. I picked Kansas last year. Obviously, they didn't win, which was a bummer. But that's part of the reason why I didn't pick them this year. I thought Gonzaga would do better. So I'm praying and hoping Gonzaga makes it, because if I did pick the winner, even if my bracket was terrible, I don't care. If I picked the winner, I'm perfectly cool with that. So I definitely do hope that Gonzaga wins it all. That'd be great to see. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching the first episode of the HollyWood Sportscast podcast. If you have a topic you want me to talk about, leave it down below in the comments, and I'll definitely get to it the next episode. I'll write more stuff on my handy-dandy list of things. I'm going to write way more stuff for the next episode, just so I have more information with me to talk about. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for listening. If you've made it this far, it means a whole lot to me to get to share my opinions on different sports situations with you guys. If you guys want, you can definitely share your opinion on, the Lavar Ball situation, NASCAR Phoenix, best landing spots for Kaepernick or Cutler, or Kaepernick and Cutler, and then March Madness. Share with me. I want to know what you guys think about that kind of stuff, and maybe we'll bring it onto the show at some point. We'll talk about it, on the podcast here. We will discuss it. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the first episode of the HollyWood Sportscast podcast. If you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's been so fun bringing you guys this, and we'll see you for episode 2, probably Sunday or Monday, most likely Monday. And we'll see you for episode 2. Thanks, guys.